20, 21, 42. This is the demand, this is the time. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is how time series data will look like. Now, in least square method, what we will try to do is, if time is one variable for me, if time is one element, demand is one element, I will try to generate a mathematical equation for these two variables. And using that mathematical equation, I will try to predict the future value. If I want 2021 sales or 2022 sales, using the mathematical equation, I will try to predict the future value. What I'll do in least square method is, I will try to generate a mathematical equation for this data, past data that is there. I already told you that in time series analysis, you need past data and present data to forecast the future value. Now, if you have past data, in method of least squares, what we will do is, we will try to generate the equation for these two variables, time and demand. If you are able to generate that mathematical equation, using that equation, we can calculate the future value. Are you all getting yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Repeat it, answer.
Which equation, sir? Which type equation?
I am showing that equation. So, you have to understand that in method of least squares or least square method, we will try to generate a mathematical equation for time and demand for the data that is there with us. Okay, till there it is clear? Till there it is clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
that equation which will show the relationship between time and demand will look like this, which I am writing on the board now. The equation will be of this form. It is a linear equation which takes two variables. A linear equation which takes two variables. And it looks like this. It is y equal to ax plus b. This is how the equation will look like. You understood? So using least square method, what we will try to do is, we will try to get this equation for this data. You got it? Did you get how the equation will look like? If we are able to generate this equation, we can predict any value. We can predict the future value. Now in this equation, what are all these y, a, x and b? What are all these? I'm trying to explain what are all these variables here. See, x here and y here in the equation. Are you all seeing, observing? X and y. Are you seeing yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, if you are able to generate an equation for this data like this, then this equation, in this equation, y is called the dependent variable and x is called the independent variable. You got it? Y is called dependent variable, x is called independent variable. Like for example, if I have height of all of you who is attending here, there are 20 students who are attending. If I have 20 heights, your heights, if there are heights of all of you students and I have your weight, are you listening? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So height is one variable for me, weight is one variable for me. Now, do you think the height of a person, will it have an impact on weight of the person? Does height of a person, does it impact weight of a person?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the link? If the height is more, can weight also be more? Generally speaking, if height is more, can weight also be more? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if these are my two variables I am studying, I am saying one variable is having impact on the other. Now if I am talking about height and weight in terms of dependent variable and independent variable, which one is dependent on what? Is height dependent on weight or weight dependent on height? What do you say?
Weight dependent on
Weight
height.
depend on height.
Now in my example that I am talking in the class, definitely weight is dependent on height of a person. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The higher the person, the more heavy the person is. So here, see, this is how we say when there are two variables. Like in time series, we have two variables, time and demand. I'm talking about the same thing here in terms of height and weight. In terms of height and weight, one variable is depending on the other variable. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We are saying weight of a person is dependent on the height of the person. That is why we say dependent and independent variables. So if you understood what is dependent and what is independent variables, I will give you one more. I'll ask you one more question. Tell me what is dependent on what? Age of a person and blood pressure of a person. What is dependent on what? Age of a person A and blood pressure BP. What is dependent on what?
Sir,
What
BP
is
depend
dependent
on
variable
age.
here? What is
BP on
independent
age.
variable here?
BP on age.
What is dependent? You have to listen to my question. What is dependent variable? What is independent variable?
Dependent BP.
Dependent variable is BP. What about
B.
others? What is your opinion?
Same sir. Dependent is BP.
So BP is dependent on age. As your age is increasing, maybe you can have high BP or low BP. That's how we speak. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For now, is it clear what is dependent and what is independent in terms of variables?
Yes, sir.
So this same concept will apply to this equation. So in a least square equation, we will try to generate this equation for this data. How we will generate, I'll tell you. But what is this equation? What does it mean? What does this equation mean is, in the equation, y is a dependent variable, x is an independent variable. You got this? Like say, let me say y is, I'm saying dependent variable. In my height and weight example, y is weight, x is height. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if I know the height of a person, if the height of the person is, if I'm able to get this equation, if I know the height of the person, will I be able to estimate or calculate the weight of the person? If I know the height of the person, can I calculate the weight of the person?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Equation. See, that is what I will do for time series also. If I know the independent variable, if I know the independent variable, I will be able to predict what is the dependent variable. If I know the height of the person, I can predict what will be the weight of the person if the data is converted into this equation. You got this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now look at the other things. We have A and B. What are A and B in this equation? Actually, the equation that I wrote on the board, which is y equal to ax plus b, is a straight line equation. It is a straight line equation. Okay. This equation actually is a straight line equation. You're listening? Yes? No?
Yes, sir.
So in this equation, is if x is independent variable and y is dependent variable, b is called the intercept of the line and a is called the slope of the line. You need not understand what is slope and intercept, but for now, in the equation y equal to ax plus b, y is the dependent variable, a is the slope of the line, x is the independent variable, b is the intercept. You got it?
Sir, yes, sir.
Intersect,
Just remember
sir.
the names. Yes, please ask. Please ask.
A B not got.
Sir, B क्या बताया आपने?
B is intercept. 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 B is intercept. A is slope. SLOPE. B is the intercept of the line. A is the slope of the line. You got it?
Sir, intercept मतलब क्या हुआ, sir?
So intercept means again we have to get into the line concept. We have to go get into the line concept. If you are generating this line equation, are you listening?
Sir, blackboard आधा दिख रहा, sir.
You can see this
Yes,
graph, x-axis, y-axis. If this y equal to ax plus b is this line equation, can you see this line equation?
yes, sir.
Where is this line touching the axis? Whether x-axis or y-axis is what is intercept. Intercepting is cutting. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And the slope is it is coming down or it is going up. By what percentage is it coming up and going down? Like for example, if it is 2 here, if it goes to 3 for 2, this is the point. For 3, maybe this is the point. When in x-axis from 2 to 3, if it is changing by 1%, on y-axis, how much is it changing? Knowing that is what is called as slope. But all this is not required for you. Just know what is y, what is a, what is x, and what is b. How do you calculate them is important. Rather than understanding what are these in the graph. Okay. You are listening? Yes? No?
Yes, sir.
Now see, I told you what are all these elements. I told you dependent variable, slope of the line,
Sir.
independent variable, and
Sir,
intercept.
camera, sir.
Sir, camera.
So let me again give you an example of that height and weight. Let me say I have the height of 5 students. I have the height of 5 students and weight of 5 students. One person is height is 5.5 inches and the weight is 74 kilos. Some other person's height is 5.3 inches and the weight is 70 kilos. One person's height is, let me say, it is 6 feet and the weight is 80 kilos. One person's height is 5.1, the weight is 75 kilos. Can you see this data that I wrote on the board? Can you see the data?
Yes, sir.
Now you should tell me what is dependent variable and what is independent variable in height and weight. What is dependent? What is independent?
Sir, I think height.
What is dependent and what is independent?
Height
Is the height of a person dependent on weight or
Height
weight
is dependent weight, sir.
Height is independent. Weight is dependent.
See, it is the same example that we discussed in the beginning. No, why are you in doubt when I gave you numbers here? Why are you in doubt? Is the height of a person dependent on weight or weight is dependent on height?
The weight depend on height.
So weight is dependent on height. So weight is my dependent variable. Nothing different. I only gave you numbers there. Weight is my dependent variable. Weight is my dependent variable. Height is my independent variable. Do you all agree? You agree?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Others, do you all agree?
Yes, sir.
Now see, I'm saying if you are able to put this data, you can put this data in this equation form. If you are able to put this data in this equation form, how to put it in equation form, I'll tell you. Okay. If you are able to put this data in equation form, if the height of a person is, for example, if the height of the person is 5.7,
Sir,
can you
it
see
is not
5.7?
visible.
If the height of the person is 5.7, can you see this here? I wrote 5.7.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What will be the weight of the person? I should guess. You're understanding what am I trying to tell? You have some data. If I'm saying that if you are able to put all this data, which is already there in red, if you are able to put it in this equation form, if the height of the person is 5.7, can you calculate his weight or her weight?
Yes, sir. 77 approx.
How will you get his weight? Tell me.
Sir,
How
we
will you
have
get his
to
weight?
know A and B also.
You have to know A and B. So how to get A and B, I'll tell you. But if you are able to know, if you are able to generate this equation, you can substitute the value of 5.7 in this equation and get the value of y. Y is dependent, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And x is my 5.7. If you know the value of A and if you know the value of B, automatically if a person is 5.7, I can definitely tell what will be the weight of the person. That is what is estimation. You can estimate if you are generating this equation, yes or no? Or you can predict, you can forecast. Are you getting this? What am I trying to tell in least square method?
Yes,
sir.
See, the same methodology we'll use for this data. Instead of height and weight, we will have time and demand. Okay. Instead of height and weight, we will have time and demand. Two variables, x and y.
Yes.
X and y form. Now tell me in time and demand, what is dependent variable and what is independent variable? If you know that, your work is done. Same like height and weight example. Here we have time or as one variable, demand as the other variable.
The demand will depend on time.
Definitely our demand will depend on time. Yes or no? 2015 it is some demand, 2021 some demand will come, 22 we have to find out what is the demand. If you don't understand the logic, in time series, your time is your x, also called as independent variable in this equation. Your demand is your y, your dependent variable. Demand is dependent variable, dd. You can remember in that way. Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what we will do is, initially for the present data till 2021, if I have data, this data I will convert it into this equation form. After converting this into equation form, I will calculate what will be the demand for 2022 by substituting x value as 22 and I'll get the value of y if I know A and B. You got it?
Yes, sir.
See, that is what is least square method. How do we do this is what I'll tell you now. How do we generate this equation is what I'm going to tell you.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
if y is 15,
If y, no,
Then
y is
what is-
dependent variable. Y is dependent variable. You should know the value of x. You will calculate the value of y.
Okay, sir.
You know the value of x. For some value of x, what will be the value of y is what we will calculate. Okay. Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Okay, take this problem and solve. Okay, the problem that you did in the morning only, we will solve one using regression techniques. Using regression techniques, we will solve one problem. Did you all finish the problem that I gave you in the morning? Asked you to find out what is the forecast
Yes,
using
yes.
moving average method. How much did you get? What is the forecast using moving average method?
Uh,
Moving average.
moving average.
Exponential smoothing method.
33.5.
Moving average, it is 33.5. Okay. Exponential smoothing method,
34.6.
34.6. How to tell which one is better? I told you we have to find out the forecast error. Okay. But for now, we will not concentrate on forecast error. We will only find out what is the forecast using that method. Okay. Can you give me the data for this method? The data, the time and the demand.
Yes, sir.
Year is starting from when?
Time 2012 to 2020.
2012 to 2020. Okay. Okay. Can you give me the demand values?
Yes, sir. Demand is 56, 55,
56, 55,
51,
51,
47,
47,
42,
42,
38,
38,
35,
35,
32.
32. We are supposed to calculate for 2020. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the forecast for 2020? If I'm asking you to find out what is the forecast for 2020 using least square method, you have to apply, you have to get the equation for this. Now, how do you get equation? See, there are two methods. One is the manual method, the other one is the Excel. You can also use Excel to get the equation for this data. Okay. So we will discuss Excel. Manual method is a lengthy process with bigger formula. So I'm opening an Excel sheet. I want you all to work, you also to work along with me on the Excel. Please open your Excel workbooks. Okay, before I start with this Excel, and how to generate the equation, see, in your timetables, I see there is something called as Excel. Is it that someone is teaching you Excel?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
May I know what are the concepts that you learned in Excel? Some few concepts. You can name few of them, one or two. Something that you learned in Excel.
Sir, what is the if function? We look, upload.
You know what is VLOOKUP,
Text
you know if
functions and
functions.
also,
Okay.
yes.
What else? VLOOKUP, if.
Text functions, the financial function,
So you know there are some functions in Excel. You know that there are some functions in Excel
Yes,
that
sir.
you can
Yes.
use. Okay, thank you. What else did you learn? How did you learn about this data analysis in data? Something is taught to you in that?
Sir, we also know how to forecasting through the map. We generate the line chart, and from then we generate the formula equation A is equals to mx plus c.
You already know how to get that. Y
Yes,
equal to
sir.
mx plus c.
Yes, sir. We know we can generate through the formula. Option is given, and if we select that option, the equation is shown to us, and we can apply that in the cell, and from that formula we can generate the values.
Okay, so you already know how to generate the line equation for the data. That's what you are saying, Brijesh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about others? All others?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, please open your Excel. Please open your Excel and get this data onto your Excel. Get this data which you work. Get the data onto your Excel. So let me share the screen. Okay, can you all see my Excel sheet that I'm sharing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So get the data onto the Excel sheet. You have two columns. One is time and the other one is demand.
Demand.
So time starting from 2012, 2012. Time starting from 2012, use the pull handle till 2019. You have the time and the respective demand is given to you. Respective demand is 56, 56, 55, 51, 47. Are you all getting the file ready?
Yes, sir.
42,
Yes, sir.
38, 35, 32. So this is the data given to you. So we are supposed to calculate what will be the demand for this company in the year 2020 using least square method. That is what is our task. Okay. Are you all ready now with your sheets?
Sir, just give me 1 minute.
Yes, go ahead. Okay, if you all are ready, can I go ahead? Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
See, if you are ready, I told you if you are using least square method to forecast. Least square method is the method that we are discussing now. If you are using least square method to forecast 2020 demand for this company, we have to convert. We have to get the least square equation of this form: y equal to ax plus b form, or y equals to mx plus c form. You should get this equation for this data, already existing data. So how to get the equation for this data is, there are two techniques. One, the easiest one. The other one is the normal function route. Are you all listening? Are you all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So one way is we can use functions. We can use functions only if you know what are all this in the equation. What is y in the equation? Y is
Dependent.
dependent variable. So here for me, time and demand, what is dependent?
Demand.
Demand is dependent. So I'm naming demand as y on top. I hope you can see. So if demand is y for me, dependent variable, time is x for me. So time will be x. So I named the variables x and y. So from the data, I can get x and y values. From the data, can I get x and y values? So what I need is, in this equation, I need the values of a and b. Now, how do I get the values of a and b? To get the values of a and b, you should know what is a and what is b. In the equation, what is a? What is a in the equation? What is a called in the equation?
Slope,
A is called the slope of the
Slope.
line. And what is b called as?
intercept.
Intercept.
B is called the intercept. So in Excel, if you are using Excel, there are functions called as slope function and intercept function, which will help us to find out what is the slope and intercept. See, if you are using a function, how will a function start in Excel? How will a function start in Excel? It will always start with equal
Is
to.
equal to.
Function always starts with equal to. So I want to find a and b in the equation. A is slope, b is intercept. So if I want to find out slope, I'm going to type slope, SLO. As I'm typing slope, can you see the suggestion it gave me? Can you see the suggestion? Slope function here. Can you see the slope function here? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
select the
sir.
function, select the slope function. It is asking for known y's and known x's. What is y? Y is the dependent variable data set. and x is the independent variable data set. So I have to select all y values first. So what is y for me in the data? Demand.
27 what?
Right? 56, 55, all this is y for me. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I'm going
Yes,
to
sir.
select all the y values, what is given in the question, not the question mark. All the y values, what is there in the question. Okay? That is what
Yes.
is y in the function, comma. After selecting all the y values, then I have to select all the x values, what is given in the data, not what I have to find. So from 2012, I'm going to select from 2012 to 2019. I'm going to select all those cells, all the x values, and I'm going to close. I'm going to close the parenthesis and say enter. Did it give me some value? Did you all get the same value if you are following me?
Yes, sir. Same
Yes,
value.
sir.
Sir, why you are
So
not taking the 2020, sir?
that is what we have to predict.
The answer prediction. Yeah.
That is what we have to predict. So we are not taking 20. That 2020 is not given in the question. What is given in the question only we have to take. Let me delete. Not create any confusion. In the question, 2020 is not given. Whatever is given in the question only we'll take. Okay? Is it clear enough?
Yes, sir.
So I hope all of you got minus 3.71429. This is the slope of this line. A. This is A. Am I right? A is the slope, right?
Yes, sir.
So in my equation, A equals to, I got the slope. In the same way, we can use intercept formula. There is an intercept function. We can use intercept function. Use intercept function to get the intercept equal to. Every function in Excel starts with equal to. Equal to intercept. Start typing intercept, it will give you the suggestion. Can you see the intercept? Can you see the intercept function?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So select the intercept function. It will tell you what arguments you have to take. It says take y values first and then take x values separated by commas. So I'm going to select all y values first, which is my demand. So I'm selecting all the y values first, comma. Then I'm selecting all the x values. I'm closing the parenthesis and saying enter key. I hope all of you got the same b value. This is called the. Did you all get the same intercept value?
Sir, how
Yes, sir.
please show the A formula, sir. A formula.
A
Sir,
formula
can you
is
repeat again?
one second.
Sir,
See, if you want A equal to, don't do anything. In the cell where you want the answers, you have to use the function like this. For every function, you have to start with equal to. Equal to. What is A in that line equation? A is the slope of the line. So I'm typing slope function. SLOPE. Slope function, it is giving me the function. Can you see that? A is called the slope. B is called the intercept. So I'll select slope function. After selecting slope function, it is asking me to select known y values, known x values. Known means what is given in the question. So y values for me in the question is this. You have to look at my screen. Only then you will understand. I am selecting all the y values. After y values, there is a comma in the formula. Comma, then you have to select all the known x values. X value is your time. Select all the time values that is there in the question. Close your brackets or close your parenthesis and say enter. It will give you the slope value. You got it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So in the same way, we'll get intercept value also. So once you get the values of A, values of B, and the intercept slope and intercept value, now you can substitute in this equation and then get the whatever value you want. Yes or no? For example, if I want 2020 demand, how will you get 2020 demand? Tell me. Now the equation is like this. It is y equal to A is what? A is minus 3.714. Am I right? Y is minus 3.71429 x plus 750.643. So my equation, which is y equal to ax plus b, will be like this. Did you all get it? What am I trying to tell? Your equation y equal to ax plus b form will be like this. Y equal to a value is minus 3.71429 x plus 7,530.642. Your equation will become this form. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Using this equation, can you calculate the demand for 2020?
Yes, sir.
How will you calculate it?
Sir, we can put the value of x.
We can put the value of x as 2020 and you can get the value of y. Can you see any problem here? Do you find any problem here in this equation?
No, sir.
See, if you look at the demand here, it is below 100 all the years. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All the demand here is below 100. But if you look at this equation, the and number which is plus 7,500, can you see here plus 7,500?
Yes, sir.
Whatever value you get will be more than 7,500 or say little less than 7,500. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, calculate for 2020 and tell me what is the value of y. We'll discuss that. Start calculating the value of y. So y should be y equal to, what should be the value? It should be minus 3.7142 into x. What is x? X is 2020. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
X is 2020.
Sir, is equal to नहीं लगा sir before.
You can do it. You can do it. I am doing it. Equal to, okay, plus my 7530.643. See, you got the demand?
Yes, sir.
You get the demand.
Please show that formula again, sir.
See, this is the formula. This is one. I am saying equal to y equal to minus 3 point minus, see, minus 3 point, can you see here? Minus 3.714994429. That's what I am typing. I am saying y equal to minus, okay, before being minus, I am putting it in parentheses. Minus 3.7143 x. What is x? What is x into x? What is x? X is what I have to find out. 2020. 2020. I am closing the parenthesis. I am using this equation. Plus 7530.643. This is the formula that I use to get the value of y. So y is what? 27.757.
Sir, मेरा 27.77722 है sir.
No problem, no problem. That is not an issue. It depends upon how many values you took after the decimal in both the A and B values. Okay. How many decimals are you taking in A and B after? How many values are you taking after decimal in A and B? Will make a small variation here. That's it.
सर हम इसको राउंड ऑफ भी कर सकते हैं.
You can round it off if you want. Round it off, no problem. Did you all get it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See, this is one way of getting the equation and finding the other value. Okay. Okay, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See, actually, luckily for this problem, it worked out.
Sir, can you please repeat the 27? How did we get? Because my internet error was gone.
See, this 27 point value, whatever I got, I substituted this y equal to minus 3.71429 x. X is what I have to find. I have to find the demand for 2020. So my x will become 2020. So I wrote y equal to minus 3.71429 into 2020 plus 7,530. If I solve this equation, I will get this. That's it. In the place of x, I only substituted 2020. That's it. Same equation is the same. In the place of x, I put 2020. That's it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is one way of doing it. The other easiest way is, what you have to do is, Are you all listening? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Stop?
Yes, sir. This is.
Proceed.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
See, the easiest way is you have to plot these two x and y on a graph. If you plot x and y on a graph, it is easy for you to get the equation. I'm going to plot it on a graph. How do you plot these 2 points on the graph, x and y? How do you plot them on a graph? I want to generate a scatter diagram. How do
Yes.
you get it?
Scatter diagram, sir. We can from insert.
Okay, go to insert. I'm going to insert.
Scatter.
Use scatter.
Graph.
Is it scatter here? Insert
Yes.
scatter. Can you see? I went to insert here. I'm going to a scatter plot. Can you see here? If you
Yes,
click the
sir.
down arrow,
Yes.
there will be different types of scatters here. I want the
Yes,
first
sir.
one.
Yes, sir.
I'm using the first one. So can you see the scatter plot I got?
Yes, sir.
So all of you should get the same scatter plot.
1 minute. Sir.
See, by looking at the scatter plot, is it a downward sloping graph or an upward sloping graph? Demand is continuously decreasing. Can you see? In the data itself, 56, 55, 51, 47, 42, 38, 35, 32, accordingly 27 for 2020. It's decreasing. Decreasing trend. Did you all get?
Yes, sir.
Just
Got it, sir. Decreasing.
select all the time and demand and just select the scatter plot. Now, once you get the scatter plot, it is easy for you to get this line directly. How do you get this line equation y equal to ax plus b is on the scatter plot? Are you all listening? First listen, then you can practice. You listen, please. Are you all listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. On the scatter plot, wherever there is a dot, right click on the dot. When you right click on the dot, can you see what is happening?
No, sir.
When you right click on the dot, when you are
Yes,
right
sir.
clicking
Yes.
on the dot, there is a dialog box that will open up. In the dialog box, you have to go to format data series. Can you see format data series at the bottom
Yes, sir.
of this dialog box? See, either you go to format data series or just before that, just before format data set, what can you see? Which I'm highlighting now. What can you see on my screen?
Trending line.
Add trend line. It is saying add trend line. Am I right?
Yes,
So
sir.
on the graph, whatever graph you got, if you right click on one of the dot, you will get a dialog box. In the dialog box, click on add trend line. When you click on add trend line, you will get this line. Can you see that line now? Dotted line connecting all my dots.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So once you get that line, once you get this line, I hope you are seeing my screen. Once you get that
Yes,
line,
sir.
is there a format trend line box that opened up, pan that opened up to your right of the screen, like me?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Do you have something like this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in that window where it says format trend line, go to the bottom. Go to the bottom of that pan. But the last second option you have to tick. Display equation on chart. Can you see display equation on chart?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Click on display equation on chart and say OK. As soon as you say display equation on the chart, you got an equation. Can you see on the chart here?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Is it the same equation that we got when we did it using function? See,
Yes,
y
sir.
equal to minus 371.429 plus is the same equation. Is it the same equation? Here, I'm bolding it. I kept it in bold now. Can you see it?
Yes, sir. We can. see.
Are you all trying? Did you all get the equation now?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Sir, can you
See,
please, hello?
Yes.
Sir, can you please draw this graph again for me? Actually, I got disconnected in between.
See, nothing. If you want to draw the graph, select your data for which you want to draw the graph. Select the data. I want time and demand. I'm selecting my data. After selecting the data, go to insert. On the top of the Excel sheet, there is this tab called insert. Can you see insert? Insert here. Yes. Can you see the insert?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go on. Sir.
So in insert, go to the charts. I want to draw a scatter plot. So I'm selecting the insert scatter XY chart. So I'm selecting that. I want the first one, only the dots. So I selected that. So I got this chart. Okay. Now, once you get the chart, right click on any of the dots. Right click on any of the dots and say add a trend line. After right clicking on any one of the dots, you will get a dialog box. In the dialog box, click on add trend line. Now, once you click on add trend line, you will have a dotted line joining all the dots. Now, once you have this dotted line joining all the points in your data, the format trend line window or pane that opened up, in the pane, go to the bottom. At the bottom, you will have an option called as display equation on the chart. Click on display equation on the chart option. Immediately, an equation will be generated for you on the chart. This is the least square equation that we tried to generate using slope and intercept function. Is it the same? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is another way of getting the equation. Instead of using slope, intercept, directly put it in the form of a graph, get the equation. Once the equation is ready, you can substitute the value of x and get the value of y. This equation can be used for forecasting. This is the least square method. How many of you did not understand? How many of you did it along with us? 26 of you.
Yes,
Who are
sir.
there? How many of you did it?
Yes, sir. Me.
Okay.
I did, sir.
So this is another way of getting the forecast, and this is considered to be better than the other two. Okay. If you have any doubts, please ask. See, actually, whatever we discussed now, it worked out for the problem because you have a negative a value. Slope is negative. Yes or no? For the problem that we did just now, the slope is negative. In case if the slope is positive, for example, let me show you. I'm sharing the screen again. Can you see the screen again?
Yes, sir.
See, this problem for us, it worked out. It is because we did not have much problem here in this case. Okay. See, in this problem, we did not have much problem because your slope is minus 3.71428. In case if your slope was plus 3.71, then what would have happened? Can you guess? If your slope is more than, if A is plus 3.714, then what would have happened? Can you guess?
Upward slope.
Then profit would happen.
It should be an upward sloping graph. One, I agree. Yes. Okay. What else?
So the demand would increase in 20.
Then demand will increase. But if you look at the increased demand value, it will be very exponentially high. Very high.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but that as we get the problems, we'll discuss that. But for now, if you have any doubts in these methods, please let me know.
Sir,
Do you have
means
any
this will work only on downgrading demand.
No, it will work on upward also. Any kind of line, straight line, it will work. Only thing is, we cannot take directly X values as time. We cannot take this 2012, 2013, 2014. We have to change this time, which is given in years or weeks or months, into general numbers. For example, demand is not in the same unit like time. Time is a different unit, demand is a different unit. Yes or measurement unit.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Demand is one kind of unit, time is another unit. Two different units and generating the equation like this is not going to work out. We have to convert one of them into the other unit. So what we will do is we will convert time into demands unit. So what we will do is Now look at number of observations in this data. How many observations are there? How many years data is there? You have 8 years
7.
data. Am I right? 8 years data. 2012, 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 years data. Am I
Yes,
right?
sir.
In case if you have 9 years data, 2020 also is there. For example, only example I'm saying. It is 27, which we predicted. 27 point something, 75. So if this is also there, and you are supposed to calculate what will be the demand for 2021, what you have to do is before getting this equation, you have to change the values of x from time years to the units of demand. That process is what is actually called as calibration. You have to calibrate your time to the demand units. So in calibration, what we do is there are different types of calibrations based on the number of observations you have in your data. If your number of observations in your data is odd number of observations, are you all listening? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you have odd number of yes, ask me. If you have odd number of observations in your data, directly what you can do is instead of having 2012, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. You can give, if it is odd number of observations, directly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can assign. You're listening?
Yes, sir.
You can assign to the year, you can assign 1, 2, 3, 4 to the number of observations that you have and take 1, 2, 3, 4 till 9 as x, not year. You understood?
Yes, sir.
That is how we have to do. So instead of having time in the form of years, if it is odd number of observations, you should take it like this. Okay. Now, when you are selecting the data, instead of selecting time, you have to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 9 and this demand data. Okay. You got it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What if it is even number of observations? What should you do? If it is even number of observations, what should you do? I'm stopping the share option. I stopped the share option. Can you all see the board?
Yes, sir. Sir, it works only on odd.
If it is odd, what are you supposed to do? If it is odd, you are changing time into 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Okay, sir.
If it is even, like for example, like this, if I have 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. These are even number of observations. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it even number of observations? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Demand is 20, 21, 28, 32, 31, 40. This is my demand. If you have odd number of observations, directly you can convert time into 1, 2, 3, 4 and you can take that 1, 2, 3, 4 as x. That is the process. In case, if you have even number of observations like this, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only are there, even number of observations, then how do you convert time into the demand units value is, we have to calibrate. The calibration process is, you have to identify the middle two terms of this data. What are the middle two terms? Middle two terms. 2014 to 2019, what are the middle two terms?
16, 17.
16 and
16 and
17 are my
17.
two terms, right? Middle two terms. These are my middle two terms. You have to identify that first. After identifying the middle two terms, you have to assign minus 0.5 to the upper middle number and plus 0.5 to the lower middle number. You got it? Are you all listening?
Yes, sir.
If you have even number of observations, how you will convert time to normal numbers? You have to identify the middle two numbers first. After identifying the middle two numbers, assign minus 0.5 to the upper middle number, plus 0.5 to the lower middle number. After doing this, for the remaining values in your data, you have to keep on adding one and subtracting one. Like if this is minus 0.5, this becomes minus 0.15. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
As you go top, it becomes minus 0.25, right?
Okay, sir.
As you go down, this is plus 0.5. What will be the next number?
1.5.
It becomes 1.5. This becomes 2.5. Okay. So this is not x. Wait. First you have to do this for your data. If there are even number of observations, this is what you have to do first. This is called as deviation. DEVI. This is called as deviation. 2 into your deviation. 2 into deviation is what is going to be x. Okay. Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Whatever deviation value you got, you have to multiply it with 2. So 2 into minus 2.5, 2 into minus 1.5, 2 into minus 0.5, 2 into 0.5, 2 into 1.5, 2 into 1.5. Whatever values you get here, that is your x value when it is even number of observations. Okay.
Sir, we have to multiply 2 with deviation.
Yeah, you have to multiply 2. You have to multiply deviation with 2. Whatever value you get, those are your x values. Your independent variable values.
Okay, sir.
So this is the process. Any doubts? Any
How can
doubts?
we know about deviation?
Deviation is you have to identify the middle two terms first. Middle two terms. Assign minus 0.5 and plus 0.5 to the middle two numbers. From there, you will go on. The process that I told you. We will assign.
Okay.
Definitely, we have to assign minus 0.5 and plus 0.5 to the middle two terms.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, 0.5 ही क्यों लेते हैं सर? ज़्यादा और कम क्यों नहीं ले सकते हैं?
See, it is to make your calculation simple and easy. Actually, if you do it manually, you will understand the process that is there. But we are not doing it manually. We are only doing using Excel and doing. That is the reason. You are not understanding the process. The rule is, if you are, this is the calibration rule actually, conversion rule. For even number of observations, this is how we do. For odd number of observations, that is how we do. 1, 2, 3, 4 directly. Okay. Yes or no?
सर तो मतलब अगर हमें कभी भी टाइम दिया होगा सर तो मतलब डेविएशन तो सेम ही आएगी क्योंकि 0.5 1.5 ये तो सेम रहेगा और 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो वैल्यू भी सेम ही रहेगी.
No, but you will not have the same data, no. You will not have the same data now. For this data, I took some data and I got this is the demand, this is the time. Whatever data you will work, it will change accordingly. You will have different demand here.
नो सर मतलब डिमांड तो सही वो मतलब चेंज होगी सर मतलब टाइम तो वैसे टर्म मतलब टर्मोलॉजी सेम ही रहेगी.
This will be the same. This will be the same. But if here you have 6 observations, that is why you have only this. If you have 8 observations, you will have minus 3 also, minus 3.5 added, plus 3.5 added.
Yes, sir.
So as it goes, as increases, these values also will keep on increasing.
Okay, sir.
Yes. See, actually, the real problem will come when you have some missing data. Here from 2014 to 2019, I gave you the data. What if you don't have the demand for 2015? What will you do? When you are calibrating, this is what you are doing, right? Calibrating. You are converting your time to this form. When you are calibrating, all the data is in chronological order, so no problem. In case if you have a missing value, then how will you do? That is where the real problem will come. Are you understanding? People who have missing value is 1 year data is not there. 2014 you have, 2015 you don't have. If you don't have 2015, then what will you take here? You have 0.5 here. Then for 2014, will you take minus 1.5 or minus 2.5? What will you take? You're understanding, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is in order. Because it is 16 here, backward it is going 15. So you took 1.5. Backward it is going 14. So you took 2.5. What if 15 is not there here? It is 16 and 14. Then will you not take 1.5 here or you will take 1.5 here? That is the challenge. What you have to do is if you don't have any year here, missing here, you should not take 1.5 there. You should directly take 2.5. You should leave that directly. Okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So these are the 3 important methods. Say I want you to show you how do we do the same problem using moving average method also using Excel. Did any one of you try? Did you try?
No, sir.
Using Excel, how we can do moving average and exponential smoothing? You tried or not?
Yes, sir.
Please help
Tried.
me. You got it?
Yes, sir.
So, others, do we discuss or no? How do we do moving average method and exponential smoothing method using Excel? Same data. See, in Excel, moving average method is easy. If you can apply directly the average function. That is one way of doing. Can you apply average function? Can you apply average function? Moving average is calculating averages only. Yes or no? Are you all
Actually, not
listening?
sure.
Okay, let me share my screen first. Moving average method, are we not doing average for two time periods? First number plus second number divided by 2. That is average only, no? Is it not average? Are you all able to see my screen again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if I'm applying moving average method to the same data, how do I do? See, moving average, as the name suggests, we are calculating averages. So we can calculate average and find out the forecast. Average function. How do a function starts in Excel? How will a function start in Excel?
Is equal to.
It will start with equal to. So I'm saying equal to is equal to. I'm using the function average. AVE. So when I'm typing average, I got this average function. I'm selecting the average function. I want the average of first two. That is what we did manually. Yes or no? First number, second number plus divided by 2. First number plus second number divided by 2. That's what we did. Yes or no?
Sir, why you choose for two numbers?
2 I gave you. I gave you. If it is a data set is short, we take 2. If it is quarterly data, we take 4. If it is seasonal data, according to the season, we will take. So I'm taking 2. I'm taking the average. So I got the average of first two numbers as this. I can simply drag it down. I can simply drag it down to get the forecast for 2020. See, if I'm dragging it down to one extra number, it is giving me error. Did you see? Yes or no? So this is how we can do using Excel, moving average. This is simple. There is also another technique. Are you listening? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Are you listening? Using moving average, this is how we can find out using average function. There is another technique. If you can see my screen, can you see this data option on the topmost ribbon? Can you see the data option here?
Yes, sir.
When you click on data option, you should have this data analysis at the end of your Excel sheet. Do you have this data analysis option at the right end of your data sheet of your Excel sheet?
Yes, sir.
After clicking data here, do you have data analysis option here?
No.
How many of you don't have? How many of you don't have? All of you have it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the data analysis tab, if you click on data analysis tab, you will have a dialog box that will open up. Can you see data analysis dialog box here? Can you see data analysis dialog box? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In the data analysis dialog box, you will have both the methods, moving average method. See, there is something called exponential smoothing here, which is highlighted in blue. Exponential smoothing. Can you see this? And
Yes,
you
sir.
also have moving average if you go little down, moving average. So you can use both these methods to find your values. So I'll use exponential smoothing because it is more manual. If you do, there are more calculations. I will use exponential smoothing method here. So when you click on exponential smoothing, this is the dialog box that will open. So what you're supposed to calculate first, you should give the input range. Input range is the demand data that is already given to you. I'm selecting it. Input range is the demand data that is already given to you. Then after that, it is asking something below called as damping factor. Can you see DAMPING damping factor?
Yes, sir.
Here. So for this particular problem, I think I gave you the smoothing constant as 0.6. If smoothing constant is 0.6, what is the damping constant?
Zero
Should be
point.
0.4. So you only have to give damping constant here. Then select the output range. Where do you want your output? So to get my output, I'm selecting a cell here in the Excel sheet. I'm selecting a cell here and then I'm saying OK. See, it gave me the output values. Can you see here?
Sir, hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what is that 0.4 damping factor?
0.4 damping factor. Were you not there in the morning class, sir?
No, sir. No, sir. Actually, I have a placement drive going on at that time, so I cannot join that session.
In exponential smoothing, we will multiply the data with some constant. That constant will lie between 0 and 1. So smoothing constant, it is called as smoothing constant. So if I am giving you smoothing constant as 0.6, then the damping constant will be 1 minus 0.6. So if I gave smoothing constant as 0.6, so damping constant should be 1 minus 0.6, which is 0.4. That is why I took 0.4 there. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So same way we can use moving average method also to get the forecasts. So instead of manually solving, if you are thorough with Excel, you can use moving average method. You can use exponential distribution method. You can also use least square method to forecast the next time's demand or the next time period's demand. Okay. Anything else that you want me to explain? Forecasting. Are you all okay with forecasting? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Solve this problem for me. Solve it. The demand of a company. The demand data of a company is given as. The demand data of a company is given as. As the demand data of the company is given in the following table. The table is like this: 1983, 1984, 1985, so on. 1986, 1987, 1988, 1989. The demand data is given as. For 83, it is 64. For 85, it is 83. For 84, it is 83. 85, it is 90. 86, it is 50. 87, it is 90. 88, it is 95. You are supposed to calculate the demand for 1989. Did you all get the data? Yes or no? So this is the data. Your time and your demand. (1983) till 1989, demand is given. You are supposed to calculate the forecast. You have to demand forecast for the year 1989. Please calculate the demand forecast using moving average method, exponential smoothing method, as well as least square method, and tell me. Use only Excel.
Okay, sir.
How many of you are doing? Raise your hands. How many of you are doing? Raise your hands on Excel, please. Did you all take the question? 1, 2, 3. Out of 24. Out of 24 participants, I can see 3 hands up. 4, 5. So others are all just attending the class for the sake of attendance. Okay, fine. Seven, 8. Did you all get the question right? or do you want me to dictate again? You got the question right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you are doing it using Excel or are you doing it manually? How are you doing
Uh, for Excel in interval, what should we do?
it? For which one? For moving average?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for moving average, take the time period as 2. For moving average, take the time period as 2. For exponential smoothing, the smoothing constant is 0.8. For moving average, the periodicity or time period is 2. For exponential smoothing, the smoothing constant is 0.8. Calculate the forecast for the year 1989 using a moving average method, exponential smoothing method, and the least square method.
Sir, in least square, it is 92.26.
In least square method, it is least square method. The forecast for the next year is 92.26 or 46.
26.
92.26. Okay, exponential smoothing method and moving average method.
Moving average method, sir, it is 32.
Moving average method, it is 32. I don't think so. I don't think so. It will be 32, my dear.
92.5 something.
मूवी एवरेज तो 92.5 आ
How is the 92?
Last two numbers divided by 2. Add these two numbers divided by 2. Are you all doing Excel using Excel only?
Yes, sir, I am using it Excel.
Yeah, in Excel also you should get 92.5 only. In Excel, if you are using moving average technique, the last value is your forecast value. 92. It should be 92.5. Exponential smoothing, please use Excel only and tell me. Please use Excel only for exponential smoothing also and tell me. Exponential smoothing, please use Excel.
एक्सपोनेंशियल में आ रहा है 83.51
Others, can you please verify if it is right?
Yes, sir, same, sir.
51. So as long as I ask you what is the forecast, you can stop here. So you can say that in least square method, the forecast for the year 1989 is 92.26. In exponential smoothing method, the forecast for the year 1989 is 83.51. In moving average method, it is 92.5. These are the forecasts. If I ask you which one is the best forecast, then you have to work. Give me a minute, please.
इमरान लाइट जला हेलो
भाई सर नहीं है यहाँ पे। भाई ये लीस्ट स्क्वायर इंटर ये वाला किया था, कौन सा था ये लास्ट वाला?
हेलो
हाँ
Hello.
हाँ हेलो
हाँ भाई।
भाई
भाई ये लीस्ट स्क्वायर वाला
अंकन
नहीं था?
एवरेज कैसे किया तूने? मूविंग एवरेज में जो डेटा एनालिसिस पे जाके मूविंग एवरेज सेलेक्ट किया तो इंटरवल में क्या डाला था?
इंटरवल में 2 डाल दे।
लेकिन नहीं हो रहा है वो, मेरा 95.2 नहीं आ रहा।
95 नहीं 92.5 आएगा ना मूविंग में।
नहीं आ रहा भाई।
फिर से सेलेक्ट कर, रेंज सेलेक्ट कर फिर से। तूने रेंज में कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी?
नहीं आ रहा, समझ में नहीं आ रहा।
भाई ये लीस्ट स्क्वायर में ए की कितनी वैल्यू आई थी?
यार लीस्ट समझ में नहीं आ रहा यार मुझे। लीस्ट आया किसी का?
अब्दुल भाई का आया था।
भाई स्क्रीन शेयर कर देगा अब्दुल।
अब्दुल भाई
हाँ आ
चला
गया
गया।
आ गया आ गया।
आ गया।
हाँ भाई, हाँ भाई।
वो टेबल इन
अबे
भाई
फर्स्ट
यार
ये लीस्ट में ए की कितनी वैल्यू आई थी?
ए का वैल्यू आया था 3.885714।
यार ये कैसे, मेरा तो कुछ और ही आ रहा है।
कितना आ रहा है भाई?
भाई
भाई
यार
हाँ
बता देगा यार, स्क्रीन शेयर करके बता देगा यार थोड़ा।
रुक जा, दिखा देता हूँ मैं।
हाँ दिखाना है।
Sorry for that. So I was actually telling you, in case if they ask you, am I audible? Am I audible?
आ गए सर, आ गए।
yes, yes.
In case if we ask you what is the forecast using a particular method, you can just calculate the forecast and leave it there. But in case if we ask which one is the best forecast out of these three, how will you do? Out of these three, which one is the best forecast?
सर
Did
जो
we
हमें
discuss
अच्छे से
that?
आता हो सर।
तो सबसे कम वाला
No, you should not. Success come which one?
सर ये होगा 92.5।
No, not the least in this values. No, not that. For each of the method, you have to calculate forecast error. That is what we discussed in the morning class. You remember?
yes yes yes
After calculating moving average method, exponential distribution method, if you have different forecasts, you have to calculate forecast error. You have to calculate forecast error for all the values. For least square method, you have to calculate forecast error. For exponential distribution, you have to calculate forecast error. Moving average method, you have to calculate forecast error. And the method which has least forecast error, in that method, the forecast is best. That is how you have to interpret. Okay. Yes or no?
Okay, sir.
I already told you how to calculate the forecast error in the morning about average method and moving average method and exponential smoothing method. How do you calculate the forecast error for least square method? Can you tell? How will you calculate the forecast error for least square method? Forecast error for least square method. Any idea? Least square method forecast error. What you have to do is, you will have your actual demand. In least square method also, you have to calculate a forecast column. How do you get this forecast is, in least square method, we will use this equation y equal to ax plus b. Yes or no? In least square method, are we using this equation y equal to ax plus b or y equal to mx plus c form? Are we using this equation? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes sir
And we are converting time into, if it is odd number of observations, 1 2 3 4 5 so on 6 7, or it is 0.5 1.5 2.5, we are converting this time into this years. Yes or no? These numbers. Now you have to substitute to get the forecast value. If you want to get the forecast value for this, in this equation you have to substitute x as 1 and see what is the forecast value. Are you understanding?
Sir, please repeat.
In the equation, see, in least square method, we will convert all the time into 1 to 3s. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If it is even number of observations, that will minus 0.5 plus 0.5. Accordingly, you have to convert. Now, after converting whatever x values you have, that is what is x. I told you today, just now in the class.
Yes, sir.
Now, once you get that x values, to get this forecast column, in your equation, once you have to substitute x as 1. If you substitute x as 1, whatever value you get for value y, that will be your first forecast point. If you substitute x as 2, what will be the value of your equation? Will be the value forecast value for the second year. That is how you have to calculate forecasts.
Yes, sir.
In moving average method also, we had actual demand, forecasted demand. This is how we have to get forecasted demand for least square method. Once you get forecasted demand, then you will do forecast demand minus your actual demand minus forecast demand and square it. Add all that will give you your forecast average. It is same like moving average method only. So this is